Massive 7.1 earthquake strikes Mexico. Darkness and destruction follow after this destructive, devastating earthquake. A number of very strong aftershocks as well. Of course, because of the fact that it's on the Pacific Ring of Fire, and Mexico does have many volcanoes as well, which are active. The country is coping with the consequence of the powerful 7.1 magnitude tremor. It hit near the resort city of Acapulco overnight, frightened thousands and killing one person. The quake is so powerful it rocked buildings in Mexico City, about 380 kilometers from the epicenter. It left over 1.5 million people across the country without electricity, and it triggered numerous landslides. As we're going to see on the map, there's liquefaction on that area, so a lot of that coastline was, of course, causing landslides. Photos from the affected area show damaged cities, streets full of debris, frightened people gathering outside buildings because, of course, they were expecting, after this tremendous September 7th, 7.1 magnitude earthquake, it did have aftershocks. Let's take a look at the maps. Kindly support my Patreon account since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. So this is the 7 magnitude earthquake, 7.1, and let's go in a little bit more so we can see the aftershocks right in that area. Okay, all these are the quakes that happened yesterday, September 8th. This one here, 4.8 at just after midnight. Then we had this one about an hour later, 4.7 magnitude an hour later after that, 4.6 2 hours after that, and you can see these are pretty massive aftershocks. Mexico City is here, okay, and let's go in so you can see the effects of the shaking. This is it. Topographical right there. Let's go back to the aerial. Honduras, Guatemala, very close as you can see. Let's go back to the aerial. And if we push in, it affected all of Mexico, obviously. But you can see where these purple and yellow areas are. That's the area of liquefaction. Let's see, right there, liquefaction, okay? All that coastline, that's where we had a lot of landslides, as you can understand. And this is the tectonic summary of the place. Okay. Located atop 3 of the large tectonic plates, Mexico is one of the world's most seismically active regions. When it has earthquakes, it has big ones too. We've had a lot of 7 and 8 magnitude earthquakes in the past month on the ring, most of them on the Ring of Fire. Now, the relative motion of these crustal plates causes frequent earthquakes and occasional volcanic eruptions. Most of the Mexican landmass is on the westward moving North American plate, the Pacific Ocean floor south of Mexico, right here, being carried northeast by the underlying Cocos plate. And because oceanic crust is relatively dense, when the Pacific Ocean floor encounters the lighter continental crust of the Mexican landmass, the ocean floor is subducted underneath the North American plate, creating the deep Middle American trench along Mexico's southern coast. And as a result of this, the convergence, the westward moving Mexican landmass is slowed and crumpled, creating the mountain ranges of southern Mexico and earthquakes near Mexico's southern coast, which is right there, Guatemala and Honduras, as we saw before. As the oceanic crust is pulled downwards, it melts, and the molten material is then forced up through weaknesses in the overlying continental crust. This process has created a region of volcanoes across south-central Mexico known as the Cordillera Neovolcanica. Now, Mexico has a long history of destructive earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. September 1985 magnitude 8 earthquake killed more than 9,500 people in Mexico City. In southern Mexico, Volcan Colima and El Chichone erupted in 2005 and 1982, respectively. Paricutin volcano west of Mexico City began venting smoke in a cornfield in 1943, and a decade later, this new volcano had grown to a height of 424 meters. Popocatépetl, or Mount Popo volcano, Smoking Mountain and White Lady respectively, southeast of Mexico City, occasionally vent gas that can be clearly seen from the city, a reminder that volcanic activity is ongoing. In 1994 and the year 2000, Mount Popo volcano renewed its activity, forcing the evacuation of nearby towns, causing seismologists and government officials to be concerned about the effect a large-scale eruption might have on heavily populated region. Mount Popo volcano last erupted in 2010. And Colima volcano and Mount Popo volcano is where a lot of people see those very strange lights that coming out of the volcano, going into the volcano. A lot of people say they are definitely UFOs. Other people say they're unexplained electromagnetic piezo energy coming from the stress of the rocks, and these things flying in or out of the volcanoes are exactly that. We don't know. That's something new, isn't it? So I'll leave links below for you for this. All of you on the West Coast, please be very careful, because we have a lot of activity on the Pacific Ring of Fire. Okay, and the blue one here is today, Japan 5.4. And of course, these things here, north of 5.3, north of New Zealand. What's this one here? 5.2. Okay, thank you for your support. And these are, of course, the New Mexico, 3 magnitude, and these, of course, okay, Nevada. Nevada is full of volcanoes too, as we know. Idaho is just west of Yellowstone. Thank you for your support. Please leave your comments. Thank you.